Picture this. You've been diligent about your finances, paying your bills on time, and avoiding unnecessary debt. You're feeling pretty confident about your credit score. But then, you get a rude awakening. Imagine you're John, a hardworking professional who's made it a point to be responsible with money. You've always paid your bills on time, never borrowed more than you could afford, and made sure to live within your means. You're thinking, "I've got this," as you check your credit score, expecting to see a reflection of your fiscal prudence. But what you see instead is a number that's far lower than you anticipated. Your heart sinks. You're baffled, confused, and a little angry. You've played by the rules, so why isn't your credit score reflecting that? As you delve deeper into your credit report, you discover the culprit: errors. Outdated personal information, an incorrect account status, and even wrongful delinquencies have all conspired to pull your credit score down. The first type of error you encounter is outdated personal information. Your old address from 3 years ago is still listed as your current one. It's a minor mistake, but it can have major repercussions. Next, you spot an incorrect account status. An old credit card account that you've closed is still listed as open, and worse, it's showing a balance that you don't owe. And then you see the most infuriating mistake of all: wrongful delinquencies. Payments that you've made on time are wrongly reported as late, tarnishing your otherwise spotless payment history. Each of these errors on their own might seem small, but combined, they've created a perfect storm that's wreaking havoc on your credit score. And the worst part? None of this is your fault. You've been a victim of inaccurate reporting, and now you're paying the price. And just like that, you find yourself in a credit report catastrophe, trying to fix errors that shouldn't be there in the first place. So, what's the first step to untangle this mess? Get your credit reports. Yes, you heard it right. It's time to put on your financial hat and dive into the world of credit reports. But where do you get them? Well, there are 3 major credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Each one of them is obliged to give you a free copy of your credit report every year. Now you might be wondering, why all 3? The answer is simple. Each bureau might have slightly different information. One might have an account you've forgotten, another might not. It's like getting a second or even a third opinion. So don't hesitate. Go ahead and request your free annual credit reports from all 3 bureaus. It's as simple as visiting their websites and following the prompts. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances. With your credit reports in hand, it's time to play detective. Now, you're ready to comb through your credit reports with a fine-toothed comb. And no, I'm not talking about the kind you use on your hair. I'm talking about a metaphorical comb that's going to help you spot any errors that might be lurking in your credit reports. First things first, you'll need to review each credit report. That's right, each one. Remember, you've got reports from 3 major credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Each bureau may have slightly different information, so it's crucial to check all 3. Now, what should you be looking for? Well, there's a few areas where errors can commonly occur. Incorrect personal information is one of them. Your name, address, social security number, these are all things that need to be accurate. If they're not, it could be a sign of identity theft, which is a whole other can of worms. Next, look for any accounts that you don't recognize. If there's a credit card or loan that you didn't open, it's time to raise the red flag. Outdated information can also be a problem. Negative information like late payments or bankruptcies should fall off your report after 7 to 10 years, depending on the type of information. If it's still there, it's time to dispute it. Lastly, check for any inaccuracies in your credit limits and balances. If your report shows a higher balance than you actually have, it could be hurting your credit score. So you've got your detective hat on and you're ready to investigate. Good on you, but remember, accuracy and thoroughness are key here. You're not just skimming a novel, you're reviewing a document that could have a big impact on your financial future. Take your time, make notes, and gather any supporting documents you might need. Once you've done all that, you're ready for the next step. Identified some errors? Excellent detective work. Now let's dispute them. Disputing errors on your credit report might sound intimidating, but it's simpler than you think. Let's break it down into bite-sized pieces. First things first, you need to write a dispute letter. This isn't your average letter, and it's definitely not a love letter, unless you're in love with accuracy, which we all should be when it comes to our credit reports. Now, what goes into this letter? Well, you'll want to start with the basics, your full name and address. Make sure it's the same one that's on your credit report. Then, identify each error you've spotted one by one. Be as detailed as possible, describing what's wrong and why. But remember, this isn't a novel. Keep it concise and to the point. Next, it's time to play detective. Gather all the evidence that supports your dispute. This could be bank statements, payment receipts, or even correspondence with your creditor. Attach copies of these documents to your letter. Remember, copies not originals. You don't want to lose your only proof. Once your letter is packed with all the necessary information and supporting documents, it's time to send it off. But where, you ask? Directly to the credit bureau reporting the error. That's right, Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion, depending on which one has the error. Make sure you send it by certified mail with a return receipt requested. This way, you'll have proof that the bureau received your dispute. And then, my friends, it's a waiting game. The credit bureau has 30 days to investigate your claim. It might feel like forever, but here's a secret. Patience is a virtue, especially when it comes to credit disputes. So you've done your part. You've written your letter, gathered your evidence, and sent it off. Now sit back, relax, and give the credit bureau some time to investigate. Remember, good things come to those who wait, and a corrected credit report is definitely a good thing. You've done your part, and now it's up to the credit bureau to do theirs. So what exactly happens after you've submitted your dispute? Well, the credit bureau has 30 days to investigate your claim. This is where they'll contact the organization that provided the disputed information and ask them to check their records. During this period, it's crucial to keep a cool head. Yes, it's like waiting for water to boil, but remember, the credit bureau is doing its job. They're checking their facts, dotting their I's and crossing their T's, and you know what they say about patience, it's a virtue and it's about to pay off. After the investigation, the credit bureau will send you a response. This will detail the results of their inquiry. If the error was verified, they must correct it on your report. They'll also send you a new copy of your credit report, free of charge, so you can see the changes for yourself. If the dispute is not resolved to your satisfaction, you have the right to add a statement to your credit report explaining the issue. But what if the error persists? Don't panic. You still have options. You can submit a complaint to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or directly to the organization that provided the inaccurate information. Remember, persistence is key to resolution. And voila, you've successfully navigated the credit report dispute process. You've shown those errors who's boss and hopefully improved your credit score along the way. You've taken charge of your financial life and proven that you're not a pushover when it comes to your credit. Now don't forget to keep a watchful eye on your credit report. Make sure those errors don't sneak back in. And remember, you've got this. You've tackled the credit report beast and emerged victorious. Now go and celebrate. You've earned it. But remember, maintaining a clean credit report is a continuous job. It's not just a one-and-done kind of deal. The vigilance you show in monitoring your credit report can make a world of difference. So make it a habit to regularly review your reports from all 3 credit bureaus. Catching errors early saves you the hassle of a lengthy dispute process later on. Spotting and correcting inaccuracies can prevent that sneaky credit score from taking a tumble. And let's not forget, a correct credit report could be your golden ticket to better loan and credit card terms. Think of it this way, your credit report is like a garden. A little regular weeding can keep it blooming beautifully, reflecting your true financial health. By being vigilant, you can keep your credit report error-free and your credit score healthy. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more financial tips and advice.